new and different perspective every week on LEGO sets, news, media, and more. You're listening to the BCC Podcast. It is Friday, July 13th of 2018, and you're listening to episode 159 of the BCC Podcast. I'm LQ, and I just realized it is Friday the 13th.
It's my lucky day today, man.
Is it your birthday?
No.
Why
Joining
is it
me
your lucky day then?
today on this podcast is Maluris, whose birthday is not today.
It's my lucky day because it's supposed to be intertwined with, bad luck. So, that's the only kind of luck I can get, and I'll take it.
Is it also intertwined with bad jokes?
Yes.
And also on this podcast is Leo.
What? How do I follow this?
I don't know.
Bad joke. With a bad joke.
A bad joke. Okay.
What have you done?
Leo has the worst jokes, man, and that's coming from me.
Hey, you're one to talk. You tried to pull
That's
one
what I
off
said.
Leo, are you
Okay.
going to even tell one?
No,
Or
I can't think of a joke.
Here, wait. I can think of one. The Lego Bionicle Community.
And also joining me today is Orion.
Hey.
Doing these intros would be so much easier if we had any sort of credentials.
Nope. No, it wouldn't.
How would it make it easier?
Well,
Because
if
then you
we,
could and joining me also is the senior advisor for some blog in Minneapolis, Orion.
Well,
Oh, I'm glad to be here, Jeff.
well, I am growing the beard, so I could do like the hipster look, get some glasses, drink expensive.
But that's not a
coffee or
credential you
whatever.
want to advertise.
No, I could look like one though.
You could look
Wait,
like a
what if-
credential.
How do you do that on a visual audio thing?
What?
Never mind. Words slipped out of my mouth.
I don't
too
know. Just
quickly.
describe myself in full detail, maybe. I don't know.
Well, today, we have pictures too.
Yeah,
Pictures.
follow me on Twitter.
Today,
That's my new Patreon.
Today we are going to talk about something, a topic we've actually had planned for a very, very long time. The LEGO Bionicle Community, but not in the same way Orion recently addressed. In fact, Orion's video was conceptualized way later than this. This was...
And was probably far tamer.
Oh, darn. I just realized they're overly on studio mode. No, it's fine now. We got a nice picture of Matanui on there.
Very nice.
yeah.
So we're asking the question today, does the Bionicle community make us like Bionicle more? Darn it, less!
Man,
This is such a
Does-
great
does
take
the-
right
They
now.
call this
does the
Freudian
BCC
slip.
podcast make us like Bionicle more or less? Let us see.
Lettuce? Did you say lettuce?
So I actually
there's
came
the
up with
bad
this
joke.
question a long time ago because I like Bionicle less.
Oh, you heretic!
But you just said you liked it more, man.
No, I asked
I'm-
the question, does it make us like it more? And
I don't even like Lego.
Well, that's because you think Bionicle is trash. No, it's true.
Yeah, exactly. It's true. It's true. No. Well, explain to us why the community makes you feel this way, or
yeah, I guess we just get right into spoilers. I think the community does make me like Bionicle way less. The reason for it being is it's actually almost hard to explain because for so long I was really, really into Bionicle and always reading about story stuff and basically doing that. I guess there's not that much else I did with Bionicle
Well,
then.
You didn't
well,
build
same
stuff?
here. I used to be the most informed about Bionicle. Now it's I can't even remember half this stuff.
And then around 2 years ago now, I guess, around the time G2 was still starting, Yeah, that would have been the middle of 2015.
Yeah, like the hype train
No,
thing.
2 years ago,
Yeah.
in the middle of 2016.
I started really not caring as much about Bionicle, and a huge reason I feel like that was the community. The reason for that being is, darn, I keep saying that too much. Basically,
Yeah.
darn, now I can't think of how to describe it.
He's so
You
it's so hard.
use your
You.
your well-worn
Vocab.
I
cliches.
can't talk tonight.
Is it basically that like no one grew up?
Yeah, well, that's part of it, actually. It's the Bionicle community demands the same thing over and over again. That's what I wanted to say.
It's like a big baby, essentially.
We should preface this by saying this isn't all the community we're talking about either. Obviously, we're technically still in the community, and we know a lot of people in the community that we're friends with, and we don't hate everyone in the community. We hate some people.
Well, it's more like the creators or whatever that we're friends with and stuff.
Yeah.
Then you have like the masses. It's
The
like
unwashed masses.
I'm not going to say that either.
peasants. No, those.
You peasants.
Because for
go
all
eat
intents
your
and
mud,
purposes-
snuff.
Even though we have a channel, we are in the lowest of the low of the Bionicle community totem
Yes,
pole.
we are.
Yeah, pretty much.
We have no standing among Biotube because we're not even in Biotube.
Man, it's like, oh, a video
Make more
gets 200
Bionicle.
views. Man, this is viral for us, man.
Edic's Art's channel gets more traffic for Bionicle than us.
We're-
And he's been dead for years.
The channel is actually, I think, a good way to describe how the community made me lose interest.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about analytics.
This
then.
is a good preface there, yeah.
Yeah. For a while, we were making exclusively Bionicle content. Some people think we only stopped doing that because Bionicle was over. That's not why. I stopped doing it because I got really sick of a lot of Bionicle fans.
Yeah, it's just you can't satisfy them with
It's
anything.
true.
It's like
No matter
Star
wh-
Wars fans almost.
No matter... There's a period on the channel where we used to produce a lot more content, and I'm really unhappy with the majority of that content.
I'm sorry.
We were trying so hard to produce what everyone kept asking us to make, and no matter what we made, people weren't satisfied. And at the end of the day, when I made something I really liked, no one else seemed to like it in the community because it wasn't...
This is actually interesting.
No, go ahead. You go ahead. I've been talking
well-
too long.
Well, this is interesting though because that's pretty much the exact same thing that what was it Var said on Twitter about the
Yeah, he
content
did have
they
a
were-
rant
the TV
about that
channel.
Oh, yeah.
recently.
Because it was about they
That-
did a what was it a collaboration, not collaboration,
Not- they-
did
a Let's Play.
they did
Let's
like
Play.
a Let's Play thing that they all really enjoyed, and I watched some of it actually. That's my fourth
jokes.
TTV video. I like some of it, and and they enjoyed making that, and it they didn't get any traction, but then they made like a top 10, and then it got like a ton more views or whatever. But like I can guarantee you that there is still like a ton of people out there who were like, the video is okay about the top 10 that they made or whatever. So that is frustrating.
Yeah, there's a certain amount of entitlement when it comes to projects people create in the Bionicle community, too. There's a portion of the community that thinks they can tell people what they're supposed to be making.
And it's weird because like they don't even make anything.
Yeah, they're often the people who don't make it themselves, and trust me, if you haven't done this stuff, how long have we been doing this for? 5 years? 4 years?
4 years.
Yeah,
Well,
about that.
well, technically, you guys have been doing it for 5 years. I've only been doing it for 1 year.
Yeah. Actually, soon
what
we
about
are getting
that
upon the
amazing
1 year
stop
anniversary of
motion?
when you made your first video.
Wait, what was that?
Like, isn't soon the 1 year anniversary of when you started uploading stuff to YouTube?
Well, I did. Well, if we're not counting the stuff that I first uploaded to the channel.
Oh, well,
Then-
I was counting that stuff. I thought you meant stuff you first uploaded to your own
Yeah,
channel.
Kopaka's iPod.
Oh yeah,
And the
yeah. I guess
Kohatu
that
box.
that would be like the 1 year anniversary. It was kind of like the beta run for what.
Yeah,
we're
that
doing
was
now.
the beta run,
Tahu
basically.
comes to life.
But we're going off track. But yeah, we went through this with the channel where people were constantly saying, oh, I like this better, I like that better. No matter what we made, they're just not satisfied. And the only ones who ever seem to voice something about the video or any type of criticism are the ones that voice criticism that's not helpful at all.
It's like super vague criticism, like if the video is too long or the video is too short, or like it could have been more comedic, and it's like thank you for that entirely objective criticism, because all comedy we know has objective values. So
or you know what's a great criticism we've got? I don't like the podcast.
Or
that's the most constant one too.
Yeah, that is like the most constant criticism we get. I don't like. No, they don't even say they don't like our podcast. They say they don't like podcasts in general, so we shouldn't do them.
Well, like I don't like. I like making being on the podcast, but like I don't ever listen to podcasts.
And I totally
ever.
get that
Like,
some
it's
people
very rare
don't
that I'll-
listen to podcasts. I personally listen to podcasts all the time, and I really enjoy them.
Yeah,
That's where it inspired me to make this
You can
podcast.
learn
If it's
a
not
lot.
your thing, that's fine.
Well,
But why
like,
does that mean
still
we
have-
can't make it?
We still have upwards of 40 people that watch the podcast.
There's a pretty good dedicated group that tunes in every
Which
week.
is weird. It's because it's like I don't hear from these people. Like, are they on the Discord not saying like?
I don't think
it'd
most
be
people.
nice to hear from these people.
Yeah, I don't think anyone that listens to the podcast is on our Discord server.
Yeah.
It's like I want to know why are you listening?
You know, it's just
to
occasionally we
this?
get the comment where someone will say they've been listening for a long time, and they've been
Yeah,
going through
and-
everything, and those are always really nice comments to get, by the way,
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
because we can
But they're
see
so far and few.
people
like,
are watching, but it's really hard to connect that unless you comment on the video.
Mm.
mhm.
But this isn't just about people bashing our channel. Let's be.
Well, yeah, it's not even about YouTube in general. It's just it's everywhere.
Well, we
I think we
like,
probably
everything.
have to even go back to our days on the Lego message boards.
Oh no!
Oh,
Why?
Oh yeah. Well, everyone there. That was when everyone could make content.
Mhm.
And everyone. The only reason people made content was for attention. Like you'd have people make another account and then they'd go back and like all of their message boards posts. So that
Wasn't
way
that just
other
you?
avatar. No, that was other
Yeah.
people.
That was.
Although
you.
I did do that once. I will admit to that. I did do that.
String
once.
'em up.
I was part of the problem. But yeah.
I know how we will
So-
meet up justice at Brick Fair.
But this, towards the end of our life on the message boards, we obviously didn't leave because of the community there. Exactly.
Yeah.
But it was
Well,
once we
that's
left, I think
partially-
we noticed the issues with the community there.
I mean, to be fair,
Well, it's
Yeah, that
once we
was-
got out of the loop, we started to grow more.
Yeah.
It's like,
Mhm.
oh,
And
there we
people
go.
resented us for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird because the message boards was a perfect place. It was the perfect system designed to inhibit maturity because you couldn't really connect with people that well because of the time difference between posts,
Yeah.
posting
Oh, and
and
let
what
me
you
tell
could
you,
post.
it's for those, a lot of people who are listening to us are probably never on the message board. There's 2 of you out there, and you're just furious at us right now. But the rest of you have no idea what we're talking about. There is
that's a good thing.
a handful of people who, once they got off the message boards and got to the general internet uncensored, they're seemed like perfectly reasonable, good people on the Lego message boards, and were the most vulgar, inappropriate people off the message boards.
They just turned into monsters.
Yeah. That's true.
And those are the type of people who made me start liking Bionicle because they were still obsessed with Bionicle. It's a weird thing.
Yeah, it's
So-
it's there were a ton of those people, so once they became more toxic, they didn't quit liking Bionicle, so then Bionicle just got more toxic because these people got toxic.
So your views of Bionicle have gone down because of the interactions with these people.
It's not my views. It's objectively, I still like Bionicle as much as I did.
It's harder
So-
to like it because of what it's
It's harder to,
associated
not even
with
harder to,
at-
it's
at
harder to
points.
enjoy it in the present.
Okay,
This
yeah.
is my personal account of this. I still like Bionicle. I love the story. I think the sets are great. I think it's a valuable part of my childhood. But the thing is, back then, when the community wasn't as bad, on the
For us, at
message
least.
boards, we could talk about it, share things, and really get into it. The community encouraged, yeah, get into this. It's really fun, cool, whatever. nowadays, though I still like Bionicle, it's like I can't get into it anymore because there's none of that encouragement anymore. It's just like, yeah, well, this happened in the canon and that happened, but we're doing this.
Yeah, there's no discussion of it anymore.
Much.
There's like people
no
who
more...
insist like that we still talk about Bionicle, but they don't really want to talk about Bionicle.
I mean, I could talk
There's
about
no more
Bionicle
fun
all day.
to it, like...
I did it with LJ, but...
Yeah, like, if you're talking to people who understand and appreciate it, like, I could probably talk to you guys about Bionicle and say, yeah, that was an enjoyable discussion, but if I went on to, like, any other place, it's like, there's just that air of pretentiousness and just, it's
there are
not as fun to interact with the fans anymore. So it's harder to get back
and
into
again, we
that
should preface,
zone.
There's still a lot of good people in the community out there. They might, in fact, I'd even go as far as say the majority of the community is probably fine, except they're the quieter ones.
Also, some of them have actually grown up like us and moved on to other things and haven't exactly said, oh yeah, we like Bionicle, because, I mean, I know people who grew up with me who like Bionicle. It's not like we're talking about Bionicle all the time because we've grown up, we have other interests, we can move on to other things, you know?
There's
a section of people who almost take it like to a cult level.
Selectians?
But this is
you have to say that name?
You know, par for the course when it comes to any fandom. Like
yeah, it
anywhere.
is true. That's something I would also say is back in the day, I mean, they still say this now, but I remember people saying like, oh, the Bionicle fandom is one of the worst you'll ever find. Well, okay, recently, I might agree, it's probably worse than some other fandoms out there now, but also, every fandom has a pretty toxic part of it. Like, I was doing some research on some Legend of Zelda timeline stuff lately, and I kept coming across these forums where there are these people who are adamantly, like, bullying other people who like the idea of there being a timeline Legend of Zelda.
Oh, come on.
And they are 100% insistent that you accept the fact that there's never supposed to be a timeline and the timeline doesn't make sense. Even though, and then I was like, whoa, I'm not really in the Legend of Zelda community that much, even though I'm really into it. Is that what most people think? And then I was just reading down, and eventually, because I was like, oh, I always really liked the timeline. I didn't realize everyone hated it so much. And this other guy quoted him, was like, yeah, actually, that's the opinion of most people. They really like it. It's just this group of people who are always yelling about it.
Figures.
Yeah.
It is strange, though. I think, like, in the Bionicle community, though, in larger fandoms, it's like the haters are very vocal, but they're more niche or whatever. But in the Bionicle community, because it's so small, even like a tiny portion of it is going to seem like big, and I think that's why it feels like so pervasive inside everything. We've
always been the niche of the niche.
Yeah,
really.
Well, but it is strange though, because I think Bionicle is one of the fandoms that will continue to be like quotation marks the strongest for a while because of the story. Like I said in my video. You know, I feel like other themes aren't going to have as loyal of a fan base as Bionicle in like coming years. I think the Bionicle fan base will still be around 10 years from now and still be pretty much the same size it is now, or maybe larger.
I really don't think it'll be larger.
Yeah, especially since there's so much content. There's so many toxic fans as well. Like, I think they're turning people off to Bionicle, especially with G2 coming out. They got to experience like a sample
G3
of
coming
it.
Out. I talked to the Lego guy on the phone. He said it could happen.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah.
That is
you donate
true.
to our Patreon.
That's actually true for people who don't know that. Orion, it's obviously it's true that the guy said it could happen. It's not going to happen. But it's true.
He did say it like really sneakily though. It's like, dang.
Like, he was trying to appease you, man, because
trying to appease the.
I wonder if
gets a ton of calls like that from.
Yeah, like I wonder if they get like angry callers just saying, "Yeah, I want this theme back," and they have to go, "Well, it's possible they could bring it back because
where's my
G2
Blacktron?"
happened."
There's like,
you know,
there's like some guy out there who's like the last fan of like some horrible, obscure Lego product.
Oh yeah,
Galador.
The snaps.
And Galador and like the
Who
like
wants
a Lego
Snap
employee
back?
is just like, well, it could come back or whatever, you know.
Or better yet, Lego
Can
Explore.
Galador technically come back since it had a reference in Ninjago City?
No.
I felt like Galador could come back.
Technically, Galador is actually, like, probably is more popular now than it's ever been in the community.
You know, there's going to be a huge, well, not huge, but there will be a Galador exhibit table at Brick Fair.
Well, yeah, Matthew Ewald, the guy that played Nick Bluetooth, is going to be at Brick Fair, too.
He will have to get his picture with the Galador collaboration.
I'm going to get him to sign my Blu-ray copy of Sherlock Season 4.
Wait, does that disc still work?
What do you
one
think?
One of them does.
Wait, one
of them does.
I'm surprised that even works.
The Sherlock disc still works. The Watson one, not so much. That's
Wow,
Why can't you
Blu-rays
do that
are
to
really
Watson?
resilient.
What?
Funny thing is, Watson didn't even survive. We can't go down this rabbit hole.
The rabbit hole, huh?
Let's see, what else can we talk about that we hate?
I hate bad guys.
I mean, I also noticed another point to the toxicity of the fan base, but this was before, like, even all the G2 stuff happened. But, like, when Hero Factory came out, you know? Basically everyone's like,
Hero Factory.
yes, there's a reason for all that, but
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
when Hero Factory came out, people were really, really upset that it existed because they're like, oh, this is a new construction, it's not Bionicle.
To be fair, I feel like those people fizzled out within like a year and a half.
No, I feel like they lasted until
Mouser
G2.
defending them. He's like, no, they're still
No, I don't
around.
think they lasted until G2. It was a very, very small portion of the community by the time G2.
I saw a lot of that stuff on the message board. So
Well, yeah, the message board is
But
filled
the message
with...
board is different. It was more of an echo chamber than BZP was.
but
And BZP
the
actually
point
got
is,
an
like,
influx of members.
that carried over to all the way when we started making Cooking Hero Factory. People are like, oh, you're just a Bionicle fan who hates Hero Factory because, you know, it's not Bionicle. It's like,
actually, I think
no.
those people got worse in the end, and the people who hated Hero Factory were the people who hated Hero Factory.
It's just a meme.
That is
man.
like
It's
such
a,
a
meme.
small portion of people to think
But
about.
they still exist today. Like, we still get comments on Cooking Hero Factory to this day about people who think that we are just doing it out of spite.
And we're not.
No, it's art.
Like, you think if I hate Hero Factory so much, I'd actually crawl into a dumpster and try to eat it?
Yeah, apparently. Gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is videos coming out that are like that, but they're Bionicle related, so I hate Bionicle now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bionicle trash.
But
You're
you know,
not
that
a true
actually
fan.
way better expresses my point. They're people who are constantly just thinking that the same thing is
Defensive.
happening over and over again, and don't actually logically think about what's going on in the future.
Or the present, you mean?
Yeah.
Which kind of speaks to our content as we try to evolve, but people are like, what are you doing? Bionicle stop motion, man. Go back.
Okay,
No,
I
no,
feel
You're
it's
the
like-
Bionicle
it's like
Comedy
that-
Central, right?
No,
Where's the
stop. It's
Bionicle?
like that.
okay.
No.
We should address that directly.
No,
I
it's
think.
like that meme where it's like the keyboard and it's like upgrade, and then like the upgrade is something else. That's like, no, go back, and he's like pushing on the enter key.
Yeah.
That's pretty much us.
I feel like we talked about all of these elements of it that we didn't like, and I feel like we're not the only ones. I've talked to some other people who did end up liking, or at least like being involved in Bionicle-based stuff less because of the community. But I feel like we can't avoid talking about... I'm the one who's flat out said that it's made me like Bionicle less, actually. What do you guys think? Has the community made you like Bionicle less?
No.
I mean, I said, like, I still like it, but it's like, I'm not actively a part of it anymore. Like, I can look back at it and say, yeah, that's cool, the story's still great, but
you like
it's like...
being involved in it less.
Like, if someone said, hey, you want to do this Bionicle thing? Like, I know you invited me to the RSG thing, and I'm like, nah, I'll pass. Like, I just don't care enough anymore
I mean, I'm still in it.
about, like, getting into it. I'm not, like, involved with anything that used to keep me involved with the Bionicle stuff, so it's like, yeah, that ship has kind of sailed. I'm looking forward to new things, and obviously I still like Bionicle because, like, we're doing the Gmod thing with, like, the Piraka and stuff, and that's fun, and that's funny, but it's like...
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
But I'm not, like, actively thinking, gee, is this accurate to the canon, or... It's like, I'm not part of that fandom as much. I'm not going back to the games. I'm not speedrunning Island Assault.
Hey, shush.
Ryan, can we play that at Brick Fair?
I want to do a ton of stuff at Brick Fair. Like, I want to do a sub to our channel, and you can shave my beard at, like, the end of Brick Fair. So that way we can make a video called "Fans Shave Me" and, like, lots of question marks at the end.
No, we can't just shave your beard. We have to shave off half of your beard.
No,
So
I was gonna give people, like, the option to, like, just shave it however they want, and I'll probably just get, like, a, you know, the German mustache or something. Probably.
You mean the Charlie Chaplin and Michael Jordan mustache?
Yeah. Better said, Charlie Chaplin. I don't. Well, the reason I make videos isn't because I like Bionicle. I just like making videos. That's why. Like, if I wasn't in a pre-established channel with, like, pre-established friends and a fandom, I'd be making videos somewhere else, probably doing something else. I think
About Sherlock.
I don't know. Maybe something like that line. Maybe, I guess, more movie-related stuff, which I'd like to do later. But I'm not. I still make it for the fans of the channel, but I'm not really making it for Bionicle or even, like, Lego fans. It's more or less just fans of our personalities and content, you know, and for you guys. I kind of just, you know, make it because it's fun, not because it's Bionicle related. But, you know, I still occasionally read Bionicle comics, you know, and, like, watch the stuff, and it is nostalgic, and you know, it's not good just because it's nostalgic. It's good because it's, you know, it's good. I think it's, you know, well structured, well written. Parts of it conceptually, it's very, very, you know, high concept, and it's probably one of the more interesting sci-fi sagas or whatever out there. But
so that is a good transition to what I want to talk about before.
Wait, I want to talk about something.
You said you didn't like it less, though.
Yeah,
I didn't get to elaborate.
You don't need to.
Fine, go ahead.
Goodness.
Okay. My involvement in the community really has boiled down to be daily online interacting with folks that I kind of made friends with during Bionicle's heyday, and we just still are in a community, not just because we're Bionicle fans, but kind of we're just friends online. You know, folks on
like
TV
that,
message boards, like here. And I'm still involved in some Bionicle projects. I've contributed to the Brotherhood of Makuta project on the TTV message boards. I am, of course, still involved in RSG.
Don't laugh. It's rude.
I've actually recently been kind of on a lore kick, and I've been writing a
fan fiction?
Yes, a fan fiction.
Yeah.
The Order of Montanui killing a Makuta. I want the Makuta to put up a fight, that sort of thing. And I'm still filming Bionicle Game of Shadows, such as it is, after these 4 years. Because I want to eventually tell that story.
I will never send you those lines.
Yes, you haven't yet to send me those lines. That's the reason why it's taking so long. It's this one character I've been trying to scramble lines for, and Orion's my latest attempt. Don't worry, I expect great things. And yeah, that's kind of where I am. I reread the Bionicle books I have with me once a year. I do that with Lord of the Rings and other books I enjoy. Still keep up with the
I've
lore.
never read a book twice.
Wow. Wow.
Wait, never?
Nope.
Wow, that's actually
What?
That's criminal.
sad.
That's sad.
Like,
No,
I
get
cannot
really
tell
bored
you how
if
many
I try to read a
times-
book twice.
You are a sad, strange little man.
The best
Enough
you get the
to-
best out of the book when you read it multiple times.
But I
thought
already
you
know
get the
what
best out of a
happens,
book.
and it's so hard to
It's
get
not
myself
about-
to focus
it's not
on
about knowing
reading.
What happens.
Wait,
it's about
well,
understanding
do you
the
not
themes.
rewatch movies then?
Well, I hardly even watch movies on my own.
It's about
I
understanding.
only watch them if other people are around.
Like you
Well, would you not want rewatch Kung Fu Panda, despite it's
I've
yeah,
never,
One
yeah.
of your
Okay,
favorite
here's a test of
movies?
our friendship. How many times have you seen Kung Fu Panda?
at least like 12.
okay.
Yeah, I've
All right.
I've seen about like 12 or 13 times too. So okay.
But yeah, just not on my own.
Everyone go see Kung Fu Panda. It's freaking good.
Watch
Okay.
it.
That was the Bionicle Community, am I right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just
High five.
I like it. I still enjoy it, but I have to have like the social aspect of it to get myself to watch it again.
Which is why he likes watching like horrible movies and laughing at them in public. Like going to see the Transformers movie or whatever. Oh yeah.
We're
That was
going to do this
fun.
for The Legend Reborn next year, right?
What?
The Legend Reborn
What?
turns 10 next year.
Oh, we were
It's
talking about when we
a
actually went to the
Bionicle
movie
movie.
theater,
I know,
You know?
but we're
like
going
in person.
We're going to do a sync view watching of Legend Reborn, right?
We're just talking about how we don't like Bionicle enough to do stuff, Leo.
Oh, come on. But it's
I don't know.
tradition.
Maybe we do.
We did a peanut gallery viewing of Web of Shadows. You know, we got
Yeah, that's no longer up because the video we used is gone.
that's true.
And it doesn't sync because of the way they did the timing on it. That commentary doesn't sync up with any other copy of the movie.
Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
it's a shame.
But
really.
anyway, so now this is not a good transition, but going into something that really, I think, I know it gets on my nerves, I assume it gets on other people's nerves, is to this day, people still call us Bionicle Comedy Central.
Yeah, that is one of the... That really
That's what I
peeves
look us
me
up
off
on
right
as-
now.
on YouTube.
It's
not
like calling
just
the
right
Czech
now,
Republic
but all of us.
Czechoslovakia, you know?
That's how I look us up on YouTube. Actually,
You're part of the problem.
I like.
For the good of the universe,
kind of
you
a-
must be destroyed.
It's kind of like a really funny joke to me, at least. You know, I like ragging on all the people that are like, Bionicle Comedy Central. It's just like, I don't know. I think that's funny.
But yeah,
It's-
like one of the most annoying comments I feel we can get is like when we do a Bionicle video of some sort, people are like, oh look, Bionicle content on Bionicle Comedy Central, like unironically.
And it's like, do people not have like a high enough IQ to get that you can say BCC or TTV? It doesn't stand for the three virtues or, you know, the Bionicle Comedy Central anymore. It's literally just a brand or a logo.
Can these
name,
people
you
just
know?
go out and make a separate channel called
Can,
Bionicle Comedy
can you
Central?
guys tell me what 7-Up means? Huh?
You know what's even worse is people are like, about the podcast, like, I'm assuming you guys just did comedy videos. You mean for 3 months?
Yeah.
The podcast
That-
started in August, the channel started in June.
And we didn't post until
actually,
July.
what was like the upload rate for like non-podcast videos like when we first started?
There was about 5 in a week and then nothing.
Yeah,
Well, that's
yeah.
pretty much it. Yeah.
I had no idea what I was doing. I basically put up whatever.
Wait, you have an idea now?
Don't kid yourself. Of course, I don't have an idea.
I don't think we were kidding yourselves.
But yeah, I mean, this is probably the main thing for us, or me at least, that drove me distancing myself from Bionicle. Part of what I did, I will admit it, was out of spite, because I didn't want to just attract the Bionicle community anymore to the channel. The reason
Yeah.
I wanted to branch out into other stuff, I'm like, I don't want to make content for these people alone anymore. Again, we talked about Var's tweet earlier. That's kind of what he was talking about there. That he feels like it's a waste of time making content for this community sometimes.
Basically, when that tweet came out, me and LQ talked about it, and it's like, yeah, that's basically the story of our channel.
Yeah, and
Right there, like,
I
that
know
is
we're nowhere
it.
near the scale of it's gotta be way worse for like VAR at TTV, considering how much more time and money they put into their channel and
Yeah,
how much
absolutely.
greater scale of it.
Gotta-
Not that I haven't put in a ton of time and money here too, and it still feels
Mhm.
horrible, but Yeah.
That's because we haven't,
The
really
BioTube community, and that's again, we've never called ourselves BioTube from the beginning. We were never a BioTube channel, and there's a really good reason for that. The community for BioTube is so horrible. There's always been this thing about YouTube comments being toxic in the first place, so it makes sense,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then the Bionicle ones are even worse, because again, it's a niche, and that niche is slightly... No, I mean, then there's a niche within the niche who just hates everything.
Have you even heard about the Great BioTube Flame War of 2009?
No, because no one cares anymore. We've grown up.
Are you sure?
Wait, I
we've
don't even
grown
know
up?
what that is. What?
I don't know what it is either. Well, I know vaguely. I just never cared enough because, like, you have the old BioTubers like IDS, Callan, Larnu,
The guy who
kind of.
looks
There's
like
even
Tintin.
older ones that I
this
don't
was even
know
older,
about.
like
Joller?
Edict Arts
Yeah, this is
and
even
TF
older.
Movies, one or
Oh,
something
okay.
numbers. And Kyler Nuva. Kyler Nuva hasn't posted in 4 months. No, longer. They're all going to college now. The only consistent one that I know of is the Shadowed One 1. And
But where
He
was I going with that?
tries.
Yeah. Do you notice one thing consistently among those channels? They did the same thing forever and then they died.
no, they went off.
Yeah.
Actually, they went
well,
off to
this
college.
is-
Really.
Yeah, and
well,
And
what did
we're
we
in college.
do? Yeah,
Wait,
we're in
Dol-
college.
Both Dolan,
except for
Dark,
Orion.
and Grande went to college. Yeah, and I'm a dropout. So
Actually,
that's...
when was the last time Shadow Gear posted? I don't know.
But yeah, that's my
but
point.
that's per YouTube though. Like in general, like if you don't change with the times or anything, your channel will die. Like there's
Not even with the times. You just got. I think you get bored
Well,
of doing the same thing too long. Just like notice that we're constantly changing up the podcast format because it gets too
Yeah.
tedious to edit if we don't do something new.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
been
exactly.
half a year
And
since
it-
Shadow Gear posted.
And it's nice to actually have way less to put into editing times
Yeah.
with, like, updating
Yeah, we have become way
podcast
more
stuff.
efficient too.
And it looks way better, but it's
Yeah.
also, like, way
And
more
yet-
time effective for what we have to do.
Mhm.
So it's like...
And yet there are people who really think we're doing the wrong thing for that for whatever reason. This section of the community.
But our views go up.
Actually, that does rub me the wrong way. Maybe this is a different section. It's people who think they could run it like they know it could be run better. Like
Yes.
we're doing something wrong. I don't know if that's like you guys should do stop motion, but then you have people who are like you're doing this specific thing wrong or whatever.
Mhm.
Like I don't understand that mindset.
Yeah, that again, I think it echoes something that Var at TTV was saying, where people they say one thing, like they said they want TTV to make videos they enjoy because they like watching those way better. Then they do something they enjoy, and then they say they don't want that.
Or they don't even say anything. They just don't watch it.
Yeah.
Also, another thing that I noticed with, like, just the toxicity of everything is if you do go back to the videos that people say they wanted, even though maybe you don't have the same passion for it, or even if you do, they're like, it's not the same anymore. It's
Yeah.
not as fun. It's not as good to watch. And it's like, either I did this for you guys, and you don't like it, so I'm never going to do it again, or I actually did like doing this, but now it's like, you're taking anything that I had left for it away from me, you know? And it just
Oh,
rubs
wow.
you.
As Orion mentioned earlier, it's
Really
usually people that don't make the content too, and YouTube, especially like the first 3 years we did the channel, I did it in an incredibly unhealthy way for myself.
Yeah.
And none of us did it. No.
That,
Which is why it was unhealthy.
yeah, it basically I was trying really hard to have, we had weekly uploads for a while of
Mhm.
Was it
videos.
stop motion that were weekly?
Yep,
Like,
weekly
yeah,
stop
well-
motion.
What
Yeah.
was the rate of upload that was a podcast? Did you say already?
That wasn't a podcast. Back in the beginning, we went back and forth. It usually we would be consistent for like 3 months and drop out. I was trying to find it, but YouTube on the new format only allows me to go back to podcast episode 50.
What?
What?
Yeah, I gotta go into Creator Studio to go back further,
Ugh.
and
That's weird.
yeah, I don't. It's ever since the new format. I don't know why. There's probably a way to get around it, but I haven't found it yet. But anyway, where was I going with that? Oh yeah. So yeah, I thought people kept saying they stop motion videos, and a lot of them got a decent amount of views, actually. More views than a lot of stuff we make now. But
Yeah.
I really didn't like the end product a lot of times, and it made me feel worse about what I was making, and then it just wasn't fun to make. And then the stuff that I did want to make every once in a while, like, I actually really enjoyed the podcast then. People were just saying how much they disliked it.
Yeah.
And I don't think people understand, if they're not making content, how that feels to be told the thing that you actually like doing is the thing that no one wants to see.
Basically, I think it's equivalent to when you're basically in a class, and I know a lot of these kids aren't at the point where they have to write so many papers that it just boggles the mind, but, like, I'm at college, and I write a lot of stuff, so basically, you gotta write these dumb stuff, all these analysis of, like, oh, we read this, and then you gotta type up, basically this happened, and it's no fun, but you get good grades. But then, when you actually feel like, oh, I really like this, and I loved writing it, and then you get a bad grade for it, and it's like, what did I do wrong? And people just criticize you all over it, and it just crushes the soul, and then...
Man, what kind of...
It's pretty bad.
Are you in?
Yeah, I
Community
don't know.
college.
Oh.
So, Ryan, about the rate, it was about 1-to-1 for the first few months of the channel.
Okay. Well, and people, I don't know if they realized or maybe they've forgotten. The only reason you get anything different, like the Gmod video or anything that I've made or like anything that I put on the second channel, is because of the podcast. Because the podcast is what I think I've said this in another podcast. It's kind of like what drip feeds everything that we do. Like it keeps everything running smoothly enough for me or someone else to make a video in the background. Like if we didn't have the podcast, everything would be it would be much less consistent, and you probably wouldn't like get anything, or the channel would die.
And it keeps us actively engaged in the channel.
That's another reason why, like, biotubers die, because they can only do biotube, and since that takes so much time and effort, especially when they're older, that's when the drop just
That's another thing, is I made a consistent effort, like, in the last few months to adapt the channel to our changing lifestyles.
Exactly.
Which is important.
Yeah, right.
I don't believe you just give up on something when you can't do it the same way.
Yep.
You gotta try to do it differently.
I feel like, though, it's like there's like way too much like brick film related stuff out there.
That is
like,
true too.
It's like everyone's like, you need to go back to brick films, but it's like, name other channels that actually do this much live action Bionicle content.
Yeah.
And maybe we're not as popular for it, but I've really stopped caring at this point.
I enjoy doing live action stuff. I enjoy what Ryan does live action.
Yay.
I like doing live action stuff. I want to keep on
Malorus's
doing that for the
live
second
action
channel.
to a degree.
Like, it's just, I need something to work it. No, I need just a better camera right now.
Sure you don't need coaching?
No,
I think it's the camera.
It's the camera. It gave me bad direction, okay?
Okay.
Uh-oh.
But, like, I have a ton of ideas that I think would work well with, like, live action that I can't do with, like, Lego or anything else animated or... it's definitely... you can't do Secret Story with it, where it's just a bunch of dumb still images.
We could recreate steamed hams.
It's a shame. Like, we're not, like, close enough to where... Like, I can get my camera and, like, direct and stuff, and you guys can, like, do your thing or whatever. Like, it runs so much smoother, and we can make so much better stuff.
Absolutely. But that's just not the situation we have now, and it's also, like, where's the motivation to get a camera when everyone hates your stuff anyways? So,
I do feel
to be fair,
we should
it's
probably
Y'all
say
throwing
something
shade
that
at
makes
all of
it
us.
so we don't just sound like we're whining either.
Yeah. No, it's...
Well, I feel like, no, how can we be whining, though? It's not like we're complaining about, like, oh, man, I'm so invested, I wish this could get better. It's basically just voicing an opinion that I don't think, like, a lot of people
that's what we
there.
should specify, though. I'm fine where we're at on the channel, honestly.
Oh, heck yeah.
I have tons of fun just getting on for an hour, just hanging out with you guys, you know?
Mhm.
That's
I wish I didn't have
what I
that
look
block.
forward to every Friday night.
See, there's a
now.
certain balance of continuing to improve, trying to find stuff people like, and also doing what you want to do, because we're never getting paid for this, guys. We're never, and we have never thought we thought at the beginning we might get paid
We
for
were
it.
young and
Yeah,
crazy.
that's true. Like,
We realized
we
it was
thought-
a stupid dream.
We realized, pretty fast. You know, then it went to like, okay, we got a little cash to kind of subsidize, and then that was taken away. And we have Patreon now, which is great for subsidizing stuff.
Yeah,
And-
thanks to you guys, I can actually get a lapel mic and a couple other things.
mhm.
Are you gonna have that before Brick Fair, by the way?
Yeah, I want your help to pick out, like, the best one.
Okay, we should
can
order
get.
that soon then.
Like tonight?
I'd like to order it. I'd like to order it tonight, actually, because I have a
But,
video planned.
you
where
know,
I
we-
specifically need a lapel.
All right, we should look at that
Yeah.
then.
Except, it's nearing 10 o'clock.
Yeah, and also notice that lately the Bionicle content on our channel actually has went up.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's because we stopped caring about Bionicle.
Well, you
That's
stopped.
true. Like,
Most
We
of our
stopped caring
Bionicle
about the
content
community,
is just
more or
like
less, I think,
making
is-
fun of Bionicle. That's pretty much
Because you know how,
Bionicle
like, the
content
Gary's
is.
Mod stuff started from us messing around in Gary's Mod, and I'm like, this is fun. Let's make a
Yeah.
video of that. And
You
it
know-
will actually get better, somewhat, in the future.
Yeah.
Hope.
that's basically what I want to do. Like, just make videos and have fun with it, you know?
And we
like,
have other stuff, too. That's another thing we talk about, like, people wondered where the courtroom show is, because we announced it. We are actually still actively working on that all the time. The
sorry.
problem is, we
It
don't...
gets outdated every year, so that
Yeah.
we have to update it.
We
and by
have-
the time we're done
We've
updating it, gets
updated it
outdated.
so many times.
Mhm.
One of these days, we have to stick with our guns and just go for it.
That's what
Well,
we're doing now.
Doing now!
I know,
we're
but we do that every
we're
year.
planning to release before Brick Fair.
No, we're not
Oh,
anymore.
shush!
Quiet.
Well,
Censor him.
It was actually supposed to come out in May, but it didn't.
sorry.
And then it was supposed to come out this month, but then I had to take a certification exam. So,
Oh,
yeah, we still do that stuff. But what was my point here? And I'm saying that way too much. This whole topic's in way more scatterbrained than I meant for it to be.
Well,
Well,
it's
you
good.
can't
It's
really
just like a
avoid that.
discussion, man. Doesn't need to be
The
themed.
point is, we don't like the part of the community that tells us what we can do and what we can't do.
Can't do.
If
yeah.
you're
That's-
free to like,
we rebel.
I think
you're
that's
free
every
to
content
like or
creator.
dislike what anyone does, but you're a jerk if you tell them you can only do what I like.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Wow, there's a lot of pent up anger.
Can we
released.
can we title this podcast "We Hate the Bionicle Community"? Imagine how many views that would get, though.
Imagine how many comments we'll get without them actually
Well, no.
watching.
Can we do that actually? I don't know. It's like
I was gonna title
that
it.
makes me.
Does the Bionicle community make us like Bionicle less?
No, that's too clunky.
No, can we say, do we hate the Bionicle community? Let's put it at that.
Can we?
I don't
Because
know.
that's it.
Can we splice
No.
Orion saying he hates Bionicle in front of the beginning? Yeah.
No, we can splice I hate Hero Factory and
I don't
I know
know.
that makes me a hypocrite for, like, I hope maybe this will get more views, but I just want more people to see it, honestly. It's not
Yeah,
like Bionicle people. I just like getting a reaction from people, if you couldn't tell.
You know, the whole time I just had the same picture of Matanui up.
You haven't used
Well,
any of the pictures I gathered?
Can you put
I
that
don't
picture
think
of just
you and a
angry
couple
me?
pictures.
I'm losing
No,
my
but-
train of thought just by trying to look at the videos on our channel, let alone change the picture of this subject. There's so many trains of thought that go on with this.
No, just put that picture of me just like giving the scowl or whatever. That's a good end picture.
All right.
How
man.
close were we to ending? Oh,
No.
wow. A lot closer than I thought.
Went through all that work.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're hating on a community.
Yeah.
Again, I feel like I
We
just
don't
want to be
hate,
very clear again.
like-
We don't hate the community. In fact, we have tons of friends in the community, and obviously, I think a lot of us are bringing Bionicle Max to Brick Fair, and we still like doing Bionicle stuff. What we don't
hate's
like
a strong word.
is doing what other people tell us to. No, that's the wrong way of putting it.
This is
What
we
Oh,
don't
yeah,
like is
actually that
I
kind
rebel.
of works like inside the group as well. I'm not good at doing what you tell me to. I don't like being told how to edit.
Because that's not,
videos.
we say that we can't take suggestions on what people want either, because actually it is good to know what people actually want. Because
Yeah.
it is fun, as Orion said, to get reactions out of people, too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, if you're the kind of person complaining to us about what we should be doing, chances are we won't like your reaction anyways.
If
Yeah,
you
there's a
feel
difference
entitled
between-
to control our group despite not actually liking what our group does, then yeah, you're not going to
I
get...
can't help but echo how much this group exists and why does it exist with a group our size? We're so small.
What?
Well,
What?
how do we have that group of people? You know,
Yeah.
this is supposed to be something like long time big YouTubers have, is that group of people are like, oh, you guys used to be way better. No, we used to be kids who sucked at what we did. And now we're
Well, the
adults
problem
that
is that
suck at what we do.
The people that watched it were kids, and now they're grown-ups, but they suck, so they're still kids. It's just, like I said, no one grew up.
I don't.
Grow up, guys.
I just kind of wonder if ever, all the people out there listening to the podcast knows about this group. And
Yeah.
we're probably getting way too close to addressing them. I don't want to give them any more attention.
Actually, this is funny because I wonder if the people who watch our podcast don't watch our other content. That would be interesting.
I do wonder that too. I wonder,
Because it's like
leave a
the
comment
people who
on.
watch the podcast.
Please leave a
Are
comment.
such like a rare, mysterious breed that we don't
I know
much
there are some
about.
people who, like, if we talk about a Lego topic they're interested in, will just come for that podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. That,
Like
that happens.
we could have been talking about the Lego Movie
sometimes,
2
but
sets, but
Yeah, but I wanted to talk about this because we need a smaller cast to discuss it, and 3 people couldn't get here tonight, so
Mhm.
this would be even more scatterbrained with another person.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And one other thing I want to address before the end. Obviously, the community is not the only reason we stopped making purely Bionicle content. The other reason was after we had, 60, 70 something episodes about just Bionicle podcast, and some of them were multiple hours long, you get kind of tired of discussing that every single week.
Well, we just ran out of Bionicle
Yeah.
news as
'Cause
well.
Bionicle
Meanwhile-
Legend got canceled.
Lego still
Yeah.
has stuff coming out, and it is a lot easier to discuss new stuff.
Oh
There's-
yeah.
There's actually been Bionicle podcast topics I've wanted to discuss, but it's really hard to get the time to prep for those shows. We, a lot of times, don't prep until like an hour before the show, if that.
For like 5 minutes.
we are
still.
very professional.
Okay, who did the itinerary?
Yeah,
No one?
well, it's
Okay.
true. We're all adults with lives now, and this channel does not come first. But it's still a priority, but it doesn't come first.
Yeah, but...
That's darn. I'm gonna go down another rabbit hole. That's still something another, like, you talk about a lot of people just dropping it when they go off to college too. It's like either this has to be their life or not in it at all, which is incredibly unhealthy.
Well, that's probably why we're not making any money.
That is true. And you ever notice also that like every big YouTuber is actually like chronically depressed?
Well, that's because I feel like most people are like
Oh.
creative people are chronically
I don't know,
depressed.
PewDiePie
Okay,
doesn't
that
seem
is true to
chronically
an extent,
depressed.
but I think
Like me, I'm extremely depressed.
But I think it's also true that it's just YouTube being in a successful YouTuber mindset. Something I've realized is bad for me.
Well, it's because you're constantly thinking of what to make next.
Mhm.
Well, Orion,
I think like IHE said that. Yeah, he's like grateful for the success and he wouldn't trade it for anything else. But just because you're successful at something doesn't mean you don't have a right to second guess yourself or like feel like, man, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. You know, And he's constantly thinking about like what to make next, even if he's on vacation. So,
Well, Ryan, I think
Leo,
you're
were you
just,
saying
cut out?
something? No, I thought Leo was going to say something, so I didn't talk.
I just think Orion's chronically depressed because he watched Sherlock season 4 so much.
I watched
I'm
Sherlock
dead
season
because-
4 too.
I'm depressed because my dog's dead.
It's okay.
Why are we
It was
laughing?
shot painlessly.
This is probably like one of the weirdest episodes of the podcast we've ever done.
It's been
I
therapeutic.
guess.
I hate we hate the Bionicle Community, and then in brackets, Orion has breakdown. Rants about dead dog. No.
See how depressed he is? He's chronically thinking about what to title the next podcast to get the clicks.
Exactly. I'm just like, how to get the views.
Yeah, and what about
Soul-sucking.
Mace's deportation to France?
I wanted to say like deportation is somewhere else, but I feel like that would have been like, probably delete that off of Twitter.
All right, that's gonna about do it for us today, I think. What do you think about the Bionicle community? Does it make you like Bionicle less? Let us know in the comments below. And on Discord, because people there don't listen to this. Tell them that you listen to this, because you're that kind of person.
That's
Also,
true.
I know it's a shameless plug, but it is important because I do ask questions for videos that I'm making on Twitter. If you're interested in like being sort of in a video or contributing to a video, follow me on Twitter, and like whenever you see me ask a question, definitely reply to it because I'm desperate for content here.
And
guys.
also follow me on Twitter so I can
help.
get more followers than Orion again.
How about follow us all
And
on
be
Twitter?
sure to check us out on Patreon. There, I admit there hasn't been Patreon exclusive content in a while, and that kind of goes back to what we've been talking about today about being healthy.
Well, technically, the stuff that I'm making right now is like that's thanks to Patreon. Like that.
Yeah,
this is
it's
the
still
Patreon
contributing
exclusive.
a lot. And I still do want to put out more Patreon exclusive. We'll probably have a lot of it, some of it at least, on Brick Fair.
Mhm.
as
Yeah,
well.
probably.
But I
Well,
also want to do like some cuts and behind the scenes stuff from the Paraka Stronghold videos we're making on there. I just got to get around to actually getting those bloopers.
Yeah.
But the Patreons are listed up there, and thank you for doing that, as you're the people who actually support us and don't just say, why aren't you making more stop motion?
Yay.
Yes, thank you very much.
Good people.
So for Leo, Maluris, Orion, and myself, LQ, we thank you for listening to the BCC Podcast, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Walete.
Thanks for listening to our rants. It really helps.
It's very therapeutic.